All right, let's get started here. Thanks everyone from literally all around the world for joining in on Webinar Wednesday, where we try to provide tips to grow your online community. It's all about growing your website, your brand, your following, your tribe, whatever you want to call it. As long as you're growing or as long as you are nurturing your community, your website stands a chance to survive another day. If this is your first time joining us, welcome to Webinar Wednesdays. I'm Jason, there on the left. We're lucky to have Gabe and Patrick with us today. Gabe is one of the support specialists here at Brilliant Directories, and Patrick is with the customization experts, one of the top companies creating add-ons and extensions and plugins for the Brilliant Directories platform. So thank you guys for joining us today.
Great to be here. Thank you, Jason.
All right, and the last couple webinars we've been boasting about this a little bit. If you haven't already done so, please join our marketing strategy network and our Facebook group. You can learn how to monetize and grow your directory website. We're already getting great participation there. It's free to join. You can go to brilliantdirectories.com/Facebook, ask to join the group, and you can participate in the conversation there. It's a great place to ask questions on, again, how to grow your community, how to better market your website, how to spend money properly when you're going to invest in advertising and things like that. Those are great topics and questions to ask in the Facebook group. Again, you can go to brilliantdirectories.com/Facebook. If you want to just take a second to do that right now, you can join the group right away. All right. And some of the goals of Webinar Wednesday are essentially to help you grow and improve your website's marketing abilities. Launching a website is super easy today. There's tons of themes and solutions and plugins and whatnot. Anyone can turn on a website, but marketing and growing and sustaining a community does require strategy. And for a lot of people starting a website for the first time, they can't, because you may not be familiar with how to properly market an online business, you might get stuck in the setting up your website phase of your project and never actually get to the marketing phase, which is really what everyone should try to get to, is get a market-ready product out there as quickly as possible. Some topics that we can cover in Webinar Wednesdays: how to convert visitors into members. If you guys are having trouble with any of these or want to learn more about these types of topics, you can definitely ask questions about your website, where you might be struggling or where you're succeeding. If you want to share some tips with the group, we could talk about how to increase your website traffic, identifying proper revenue opportunities for your industry. Every website is different. The good thing about directory websites is there's dozens of ways that you can generate revenue from people that want to participate inside of your community. So they're great for that. Also collecting email addresses. The larger the list you have, the more reach you have when you're trying to introduce new features or products that your community is offering. Search engine optimization is very important, helping your website rank in Google, and Bing and other search engines like that. And I think this is the most important, which is improving your website navigation. Yesterday, I had a special 2-hour call with a company, and they had a Brilliant Directories website, and 90% of that call was removing some of the navigation that they had set up on their site because it was too complex for a site that was just starting out. And even as of today, they're telling me that they're starting to get more interest from the website visitors, people who want to join their site. So the navigation of a website is very important. And when you're starting out, you want to keep it simple. As you grow, you can provide more opportunities of places people can navigate to in your website. Also, generating and selling leads. That's actually one of the staples of what created the Brilliant Directories platform. And also how to efficiently publish and promote website content. So if you have questions about these types of topics or related topics, these are great questions to ask in Webinar Wednesday. And because we want to maximize the value of the time we spend on Webinar Wednesdays, we do them about twice per month. try to direct any of these types of questions to the dedicated Brilliant Directories support team. If you have if you're known issues that you want to report or have comprehensive edits you want to make to your site, customization requests, these would be great things to email the support team, to contact the BD support team, just so we can help maximize the value for anyone who's watching the webinar replays or who's attending here today. All right, and just because we're so excited about that Facebook group, we did the same contest 2 weeks in a row, 2 webinars in a row. So Terry Heights, you are the winner for joining our Facebook group. You can email events@brilliantdirectories.com to claim your prize. You've won a free Power Website Plan. We can add that to your account. So thank you so much to Terry and to everyone who's joined our Facebook group. You know, it's just getting started. It's only a few weeks old. And we think after a few more weeks and a few more months, there's going to be a lot of high value topics and discussions that are going to be happening in there. All right, and now it's time to play Showcase My Website. We have selected a site to showcase for this week's webinar. If you want your site reviewed in the next webinar, you can submit your website. You can email events@brilliantdirectories.com. Just please include a link to your website. We'll showcase your site in the next webinar. Patrick and myself will provide feedback and also share your website on our Facebook page. Those topics that I mentioned earlier, we'll kind of review your site and make sure that everything is correctly set up to maximize. I'll just scroll back to these topics here to help your site's marketing efforts. Everything from website navigation, search engine optimization. We'll pack as much in as we can in the short time that we have here in the webinar. So if you want your site reviewed, I encourage you to email events@brilliantdirectories.com. Just include a link to your website, and we'll select someone prior to next webinar. We'll contact you via email or phone to let you know to be on the webinar with us today. And the showcase winner is Lori Hanna. Lori joined Brilliant Directories in 2017. Her website is meetyourmarkets.com. We'll take a look at it in just a moment. Lori, I'm going to unmute your microphone. Just give me a moment here. All right, Lori, are you with us?
I am.
Thank you, thank you. Where are you calling in from, Lori?
I am in Mount Pleasant, South Carolina.
Okay, great. And can you tell us a little bit, just very briefly, what is meetyourmarkets.com? Who are the people that would use this site, and what are you trying to offer to the world?
Okay, it is for small farms, local producers, anglers, shrimper, fishermen, people who go to farmers markets. So it would be producers who want to talk about how they grow their products. We have a lot of small farms that utilize unique techniques to grow products. And then it would be for people who support for their customers, for restaurants, so that they can build a relationship. They can get to know each other. They understand how the products are grown, what makes their product special. And then hopefully when a restaurant features and says farm to table or fresh to table, that they will also include who's growing it, who's catching it, and a little bit more about, so you know about the product, you know how it's grown, if it's organic or not. And also there are issues with a lot of local producers that feel that sometimes local products that are at farmers markets or sold in restaurants aren't actually local. And this would be a good way also to find out. I think it's a 50-mile radius that I selected, so it wouldn't matter where in the country, but it would pull up if you had a farmer were selling products, a 50-mile radius for the search that you are actually a local producer, and you can put photographs, but really telling the story about your farm and about how your products are grown. I think it's a relationship, and then to be able to learn how these farmers grow, to learn from them, to maybe help you be a better farmer.
Okay. There's no doubt that farm to table is not only good for the people who are consuming the food, but it is definitely a hot topic right now, and there are a lot of consumers and restaurants that are looking for a way to be part of the farm to table revolution. So I think that you're in a great market and a great industry. I have one question for you. Is the site more geared towards, I understand you have the farmers and the suppliers, is it more for restaurants and businesses to get connected with them, or consumers to get connected with them? Which one would you say is more?
Um, that's hard to say because customers, well, fresh is only fresh for 3 or 4 days.
Okay.
So getting customers to connect so we can utilize the coupon product to be able to utilize some of the other features in the websites. And then for restaurants to go not to 50 different websites, but to go to my website that will connect them to all the local ones, so that when they're serving products or they're looking for what is fresh, what's been harvested, what is the freshest, what was just harvested and picked, they can connect with them and make a purchase
I think
that day or the second day.
I think that is where you're going to find a lot of value for your site, is creating that community where businesses can rely on your site to find what and where, what product and where, which local suppliers have fresh products that they could add to their menus very quickly. It almost feels like it'll be like a club feeling, a community feeling doing that. What's been a hurdle for you at this point? I see that you started with us in 2017. What's been the biggest hurdle for you to kind of get this site into the hands of suppliers and to restaurants and businesses?
To get it functioning properly, for them to be able to register or join, and to, I think, really to get it to function, because there's so many different membership options of basic, premium, my features for that, and to have them understand how it's going to connect them. Again, really, every time I go to a restaurant and I hear the local fresh farm to table, I look at the server and say, well, why didn't you get it from so and so who grows it here? And because they're not connecting. So if I can promote the benefit of that and get our growers to register and see their benefit, I think it's really the functionality of my site, how I built it. That's really it, I think. Because I have members. I have a beekeeper that's a member, and she's a nurse, and she has her own website. Well, she has a web page.
So sorry to interrupt you there. It sounds like the issue is improving your website's navigation. It's because everything works. Members can join. It's just creating the good flow for members to join and visitors to search.
Correct.
And then, yeah, Pat and I were reviewing your site briefly. I just randomly went to Cisco, which is the opposite of farm to table, but they are a food supplier company in the United States, probably worldwide. And I just wanted to quickly see how they're getting people to kind of join their networks. They're saying become a customer, sign in. So I'm just trying to see how another food distributor company does it, or how a company that connects restaurants with available food options, because that's really what you're doing, is providing consumers and restaurants with locally sourced available food options. Patrick, I want to pass it over to you, because you shared some really good ideas on some ways that Lori can update her website. Are you okay with Patrick making some updates and changes to your website live here on the webinar?
Please do. Absolutely. Take over. Yes.
All right. Let me pass it over to Pat. Pat, you there with us? Looks like
Jay, I think Pat is having a little bit of internet issues.
Okay, that's not a problem. The first thing is this was made with the logo maker, right?
Yes.
Okay. So
I'm assuming.
Okay, I think it was. This is an icon of a bug, which is what we want to keep off of the food.
Yeah, I'm not sure. That was actually with assistance. We were just trying to put it together. I don't know how that actually ended up there, and it was there. Not
Okay.
sure.
Okay.
Please take over, edit, change font size, the photographs, whatever. I'm totally open to you making as many edits as you can.
Okay. The first thing to do is because your site is starting out, it's good to have a hyper focus. And I've already mentioned it a couple times. I think you should focus on getting the businesses and the restaurants registered as free users and the suppliers as what the restaurants are searching for. So I think the
Yeah,
person.
the call to action. I'm sorry. Yeah, the call to action was my big issue, was trying to figure out whether we call them register, join, and how to define that.
Right. So the person visiting are the restaurants. The person looking, searching are the people who are listing their services are excuse the spelling, are the local suppliers, local food suppliers. Right.
And the whole focus is farmers and producers and anglers and fishermen who aren't able to do their own website to be able to create a profile that would come up in the search, but also could include some photographs and some details about their farm that comes up in the search mode of items that they sell. And then it will connect people to their individual web pages.
Totally understand. So totally understand. So the businesses are going to join. They're going to put their information, links to their website. They can even upload some links of food of their site. Like they could take a picture of their fresh catch of the day, put it on the website here. They can also post that on their social media and things like that. Again, you can modify everything that we're doing here, but a quick slogan for you: connecting restaurants with local food suppliers. Is that okay with you?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
It is my whole idea too. It's a community. It's building a relationship.
Exactly.
Is what we're trying to do.
Exactly. I do see a big sense of community here with your website. So I'm just going to start with your logo. And then what I like to do is start with the home page, and then we can go to some of the internal pages. Can I also change the color set? Are you stuck with this colors scheme here?
Whatever you want.
Okay.
Absolutely fine.
All right. I'm just going to choose the green and orange color set for now, just because green is a little more vibrant. And change your slogan here. Meet Your Markets is fine. That's a great name. When it's connected with the right slogan, then it makes sense. I'll just reduce.
Actually, also, I had originally started with, it was called Real Time Fresh. Because of the term real time. Basically, when it comes to anything that's off the boat, you don't know whether you have 10 pounds or 5 pounds, real time fresh was kind of the second line between meetyourmarkets.com, was as in real time, as in current, what's current, what's.
So your site, you have a lot of big visions for your site. You've shared a lot of them. What we want to do, what happened in my phone call yesterday, which was 2 hours long, you want to simplify right now. What your site needs to do to start is do two things. Suppliers can join, and restaurants can search.
Suppliers, as in they're the suppliers or the producers?
Producers. Well, excuse me. We'll call them producers.
Okay.
Local food producers can join, and restaurants can search. And don't worry about anything else on your website.
Okay, totally fine.
Don't sell real time. That could be for a phase 2 and things like that. Let me just refresh the home page here. And it looks like I'm also having a slower internet connection here. This eye I get is a fish. It's a little bit intimidating here. I'm just going to grab a picture here.
You can remove that, absolutely fine.
Okay. I'm just
I
going to.
did have your sunflowers before, and I did like those. And I think you had sunflowers, and oh, that's good too. Something.
Smiley, I'm going to add stuff. I recommend maybe changing it a little later, finding a nice stock photo somewhere. I just want to do some quick changes. Smiley faces are always good on a homepage, and we have an article on this. Do you notice how it's blurry here on one side? That's because that's where the text goes. I see a few times a day people have background images where the text is covering a person's face, their smile. You want to make sure the subject of your photo, whether it's a person or a dog or something else, is not covered by the text on your homepage. In this case, I'm just going to flip this from left to right because we're going to have your main text here. Hopefully we get Patrick back because he did have some really good ideas for your site.
Are you able to hear me now, Jason?
Yes, I am. All right, good.
Fantastic.
Good. Let me just add this background image here, Pat. Were you able to hear us the whole time, Pat?
I actually, the power went out temporarily, and I literally went online when you were about to pass it over to me.
Gotcha. Okay. No worries.
So I have been able to make some changes in the meantime.
Okay, great. So just to catch you up, Pat, she's trying to connect restaurants and consumers with local food producers. And it's a place where the food producers can take pictures of their recent harvest or their catches, post them on the website, and then the restaurants can see what's available and connect with the suppliers in real time, or just establish a lifelong relationship with suppliers that they didn't know that were in their local area. So my recommendation to start was simply to focus on two things. Producers can join and restaurants can search. And any other buzzwords or frills around that, remove it for right now. Let me just update the image on the homepage here, and then I'll pass it over to you, Pat.
And what I found with the beekeeper, the person I work with who went in and did her profile right away, is that many of the farmers that are part of larger farmers market websites, they don't have their own individual profile, and that's what she liked about my website is it was a directory, and she was able to have her own little profile that really talked about her and what she does as a farmer.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Pat, question for you. What were you recommending to add to the homepage? Was it a search module or just title text?
Yeah, I was gonna just put in some title text on the homepage, and then what I've done is I've put in some of the main categories below it, so people can identify what type of content can be browsed.
Gotcha. Okay. Let's see how this is going to look then. I'm going to use slightly jumbo text if we're just going to use title font. So I'm going to remove the search on the homepage here, and we're just going to do title text. Let's see how this looks. Is this salmon skin that we're looking at here?
Yes, it is.
Oh, I need to turn off the slideshow. It's really tempting to want to use the slideshow, and it can be very effective in many cases. But again, less is more, and one powerful picture may be better than having lots of slideshow pictures. Sometimes it can become nauseating for the visitor if the images are not selected properly. All right, let's take a look.
Totally fine with that. Completely fine with that. I put those on the Facebook page already. Some of them.
Okay, let's see.
Oh, nice.
Let me just do one last thing, and then I'll pass it over to Pat. Just going to increase the padding here so we can see more of the gentleman, and I'm going to increase the font size a bit.
Can I keep that picture on mine?
What I would recommend is,
or do I have to?
you should definitely buy the stock photos yourself. So you can go to a website, you can just search for stock photos. This is good for everyone to know. We have an article about it in our blog too. There's websites for free stock photos, but let's just go to iStock Photo because I know they have the
Yeah, because I'm afraid I won't be able to put it in there like you're doing that.
so you can search for things like just farmer.
Mhm.
You want to make sure that you have the rights. You know, when you buy from a site from like iStock Photo or from a free royalty-free site, you don't have to worry about infringing on copyrights and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, and you can get great pictures very easily. Look, there's tons of them here, and then you don't have to
Yeah.
worry about getting a letter in the
Yeah.
mail saying, "Hey, you're using this image
Okay.
without permission." So I'm just using
Any
this.
of those would be great.
Yeah, they do look great. They even look better than the guy that we chose here, real quick.
Yeah.
All right, so I'll pass it over to you now, Pat, and you can take the reins here with some of the suggestions you had.
All right, thank you very much. All right. So one of the changes that I made right off of the bat was the goal of it, of course, was to educate visitors as to what type of content it is they can find on the website. One of the reasons why we're just putting in a title tag there on the homepage is to educate people right away so that they can be engaged to continue scrolling and discovering the website. And what we did was we customized one of the widgets, and I'm going to share the code with everybody here. But what we just went ahead and put in 4 as an example. But rather than sending people through dropdown, you're able to show them some of the main categories that are available on your website. So if I'm looking to connect with beekeepers, I can click on that, and I can see all the different beekeepers that are there. So the way that we did that, and something that I like, it's a little bit of customization. I'm going to close some of these tabs. But what we did is we customized the top categories widget. The reason why we had to customize this, and a lot of people on this call might be in a similar situation, is that on this website we have a single top level category, which is producers. So if we call the top level categories, then of course we're only going to have one category showing in that box. So what we did is we customized this widget that is streaming those categories, and we hard coded everything. So it's very easy for you to add additional categories. Again, I'm going to share this with everybody, but what I like about this is right now you said one of the things that they're going to do is they're going to share photos of the different type of products that they're producing, the local markets. You could very well have one of the buttons be a link to dairy products. It doesn't necessarily have to take people to the members themselves. So you'll be able to choose what you want it to be. These could just be call to actions, and it's an interactive way to browse the website. And for anybody that wants to know how we're calling this widget, what we did is we went into the, let me go ahead and paste this for now and share it with everybody. We went into design settings. And in design settings under homepage layout, we're able to choose in the homepage section order what we want to have display. And here we're saying to show the top level categories. So I'm going to go ahead and paste this in the chat. Just give me one moment. All right, and there we go. I just shared that with everybody. Something else that I wanted to go over with you, and again, this is how people sign up and use the website. When there's a single top level category, if we go ahead and log in as one of your members, which we'll do right now.
Okay.
You're going to see that they're required to answer a question, which is top category producers, but there's only one option. So this could be a confusing step for people in terms of what they have to do. So when you only have one category, what you can do is you can actually auto select that for all of your members. So nobody will ever need to have to select that in the form. It'll be automatically selected. So what we do in order to do that is we'll go into the form manager. And then we'll look for the contact details form. And what we need to identify is we need to identify what is the ID of the category. In this case, we know that it's ID number 2. So we're going to go look for that top level category selection, which is here, the profession ID, top level category. We're going to make this a hidden category, and we're going to place number 2 as the field label name. So what that's going to do is it's automatically going to select it for everybody that fills out that form.
Oh, great.
So we're going to save that. And we just saved all of your members that one step from having to select their top level categories. It'll automatically happen for them. So we'll go ahead and click on save and continue. Something else I identified was that some of your sub-level categories have sub-level categories and others do not.
Okay.
So it makes for a little bit of disorganization. And what we did is we actually, at the Customization Experts, we actually have a multi-category search module, which we've actually installed as a complimentary gift to you for this call. But having a sub-level with a sub-level category for all of your categories would make this for a better user experience. So if you could think of things to put underneath brewers and underneath growers and so forth, then it would make for a little bit of a better experience. And the way that's going to look on the front end of your website is over here we have the multi-category search filter, which makes for an interactive search experience. People are able to check various boxes and see any members that offer any of those categories. So in this case, I could find the anglers that have these types of fish, for example, if they had those. I could also at the same time search for farmers that have different types of produce. So if you're looking to browse various types of products at the same time, people will be able to do it via this module, which should make for a little bit of a more enjoyable search experience. But as you can see, the brewers and the growers, there is no plus box. So if you add sub-level categories to those, that should take care of everything for you in terms of that.
So I just do the sub like I did before, Patrick? Just go in and add those how I've done it before?
That's correct. That's exactly what you would do. And then this tip here, I know it's a repeat from the last webinar, but I do think it's a missed opportunity, especially when you're on a mobile device, because here is the hero divider. And this is a great opportunity in order for you to direct traffic where you want them to go. So here we have search, find members, but there's nothing to click on. There's no action to take.
Okay.
So if we'll do one together since we did it on the last webinar, and you'll be able to do the other two once you know where you want to direct them.
Okay.
So if we go into the design settings, in the homepage layout, we'll see the homepage divider settings. So here we're able to send them somewhere. So that by adding a link name and a link URL, it's going to add a call to action.
Also,
so in this case,
also Pat,
go ahead, Jason.
You can put keywords there instead of search. You can say search local producers.
Yes,
local food
absolutely.
producers or local farmers. You know, whatever it might be. Those are great areas to add more search keywords to your homepage.
So I can add multiple search words in there?
Well, there's only 3 sections. You can put whatever. There's only 3 columns there, but you can put 3 different calls to action that you want your visitors to perhaps click on when they first visit your website. And it also helps, you know, explain to them what they can potentially find if they search your website.
Correct. Anytime you can replace the generic word members with a keyword that you want to rank for in search results, it's going to be very helpful for your SEO, especially since it's your homepage. And here we can see that we now have a call to action to click on. So if somebody says, "Oh, I can search for local producers," how do I do that? Oh, I can just click here to begin my search, and it'll instantly take them to the searching panel here.
Okay. How do I make sure that local producers versus people who just want to be a member Members would stay private, but local producers would come up in the search mode. Is that correct? How
That
do
is
I
cor-
find that?
that is correct. So my question to you is this a members only website where restaurant owners need to sign up before they can find and connect with these particular producers, or is all the content accessible to everybody?
I would like for the members to have access to all the content, and the members, I'm assuming, would be local people who want to connect with the, people who go to farmers markets and they want to be able to follow and get connected with the producers that are on the website that own the farm. They can communicate with them.
But in order to connect with them or to browse the website, I would first need to create an account.
Yes, I want them to have to be a member.
Okay, well, there is a setting for that.
Okay.
I'm not sure.
Do you
Let's have a-
recommend that, Patrick?
If
Join
you,
I mean,
it's definitely something you could enable. Normally, hiding the content and forcing people to sign up is something that's difficult to do. A lot of people are going to leave your website, but it is a
I would.
yeah.
Yeah, so don't actually then, just if they want to search, they can. If they want to become a member, then that's good too. Yeah.
So my question to you at that point is, what is it that you would get by becoming a member, right? What are you getting as a restaurant owner?
Okay, so if you become a member, you will, how my understanding is that when you create a profile, you're actually able to link and follow other members' web pages, and that you will also get coupon alerts, which I'd like to be able to have it set up to where the producers can send out fresh notices where the farmers market location they're going to be. They get our newsletter, but I would like for them to be able to get alerts and to look at the profiles of where the farmers are going to be that Saturday or Sunday, or get meet and greet invitations.
So I want to stop you right there, because you're getting back into the real time thing where you want real time updates and things like that. What I think you should start with is simply getting the local suppliers to list their businesses and the types of food that they provide, and then allowing people to find suppliers who offer those types of food, and just leave it at that to start. In a phase,
totally fine with that. Absolutely fine with that. This really was started to build a relationship between my son's friends who were fishermen and shrimpers and the farmers, and to have them connect and be able to get their products to these restaurants and then prove that they really are local and they really are growing. It really is about the relationship more than anything else.
Totally understand. Those could be the first members that join your site. So Pat, we should focus now on, from the homepage, making sure the navigation for a potential producer is very clear, that they should join this site to get exposure to more potential buyers for the products they offer.
And I actually have a Facebook business account, which they are pretty, I guess I'm assuming, maybe I'm not naive, picky about selecting sites, but they actually liked mine because it was considered a relationship, and they were always open to promoting Facebook business ads because they liked my website.
Well, no, yes and no. Facebook's in the business to make money, so anyone who's interacting on Facebook, they're going to say, why don't you give us money to advertise your services?
Do you recommend that?
I recommend that I recommend investing in any advertising after you've shown your website to friends and family, and you can ask them these 4 questions. Okay. And they can give you the correct answer. This is something everyone can write down. Show your website to friends and family. Do not tell them what the website's about. Just show them the homepage. Ask them, what is this website about? What type of person would use this website? Where would someone click to sign up? And if they can answer that question, do the plans, what's the benefit of the different plans that I
Right.
offer?
Okay.
Let me repeat those questions for everyone. What is this website for? Who would use this website? Where do you click to sign up for the website? And can you easily tell the difference of the benefits of if you're offering different plans of your website?
Okay.
If you can get affirmative answers from different people on those 4 questions, then you can start investing in some paid advertising. Until then, you probably have a confusing website that isn't set up properly with just, with the right navigation and flow. And you should improve on that first, so you know that when you do invest in advertising, people will come to your website, know what it's about, who it's for, how to join, and then probably choose a plan that you're leaning them towards to join.
That's why I completely stopped, because
Gotcha.
of how mine is functioning. It's not clear and it's confusing.
Patrick, one thing that I like to do in the top there is where it says get listed today, I would say food suppliers or food producers join our network, or add your business or products, something like
And
that.
this here is inside of the mini nav. So what we do is we go into the toolbox, the menu manager, and we're looking for the mini nav. And I agree.
So we're going with the keyword here is food producers, I think,
Okay.
right?
Sure. Food or producers, yeah.
Hey, food producers, join the network there in the top right. And
Yeah,
then
I think that's great. And this call to action, of all the call to actions on a website, is to me the most important, because it doesn't collapse in mobile view. It's always there on all of the different pages. This
Right.
menu will collapse, but this call to action will always be there. So it'll be very easy for food producers to know where they need to go to add an account.
Pat,
Will that go directly to the free, join free profile, and not the selective ones, but it goes directly to the free one? Or, okay.
That would be a good, if that's a strategy I've seen implemented many times.
I like that
Yeah.
too.
Instead of going to the menu.
I've been watching all of your clips.
So another thing to do, instead of calling it basic, call it maybe something a little more colorful, like free producer listing.
That sounds great.
If I saw create account free producer listing, hey, I'm a producer, I want a free listing, I'm going to join
Okay.
this website.
Absolutely.
So a lot of setting up the site is just choosing the right text, because when people come to a website, all they have is text and images, and that's what's doing the selling for you. That's the most important thing. Pat, I would also put the two at least 1 or 2 buttons under the main title there on the homepage to give a call to action. Maybe browse by category and send them to the category page.
Okay. So what I'll do in that instance then is I'm just going to put some code inside of a widget here.
Okay.
Let's take a moment.
I mean, your platform is fantastic. You guys have really developed a good product.
I'm always happiest when we can set up an entire site, and probably 90% of sites, without touching, like Pat's customizing a few things here or there, without touching a single line of code, just using the design settings, changing the titles and the names of the membership levels. I feel that's more effective than any customization you can do on a website. So let's see what these changes look like for Pat. We're basically putting 2 buttons on the home page there.
Okay. Wow, it looks fantastic already. Much better.
Your source to find local farm-to-table food producers. Now, if I'm a food producer, I'm going to say, okay, well, how do I get my products listed on this website? So we're using text to, explain what the website does to other people indirectly to the members who are going to be who we want to sign up. And I guess lastly, let's update the main menu links. How it works is fine. Let's. Oh, where's that linking to, Pat? The join today for the producer.
Yeah, so I'm gonna have to update this join and this join to go to checkout 3 really quickly as well.
Okay.
So that'll just take a moment. So there's some consistency.
Right, a site like this, you're just starting out, you really haven't made much traction for a few months. Just let everyone sign up for free. After you get your first 100 members, figure out a strategy on how you want to upgrade those free members to paying members.
Okay, and I have listened to quite a few of your calls on that as far as the enticements or how you try and upsell them, I guess, or whatever. A new call, I don't know.
Yeah, generally a business is looking for more visibility or more exposure or to be featured in some way. So depending on your industry, that could be social media sharing, featuring them on the homepage. If you have a
Well, the plan was in the newsletter is to feature the farmers in the newsletter or something like that,
Absolutely, that's a super way to provide fun content to your readers, and also to showcase that you have, farmers that you recommend that have recently joined your site.
Now, fresh to table at the top was supposed to be where I could post articles and that they could go to that. And that's where I could also write some stories about some of my members that were farmers and producers. But really, I don't know.
Yep. So publishing blog articles is probably the best way to create content that you can then use in your own advertising. So you can write an article featuring a local farmer. You can write about 10 things to look at when picking local produce.
Okay.
Or you can get super specific, like how to know when a strawberry is fresh, and you can look at the dots and the color of the stem, and then you share that on your Facebook, and now you're an advocate for fresh, healthy eating, and now you have a whole following of that whole healthy revolution, which everyone should be a part of, following your website now. So you can create a voice and a personality for your brand, which is one of promoting health, wellness, and food freshness.
Right.
And that
So
theme.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
And that theme can carry not only on your website, but in your emailing and in your social media marketing too. It's a great topic to promote.
So when I'm doing articles, I'm trying to remember where I went to write those articles so that they will appear under the fresh to table. Did you relink that or?
No, it's still going to the same thing. My recommendation was fresh to table. It's very important that the website visitor knows what they're going to be getting when they click on a link. Fresh to table was a little unclear, so you could call it the fresh to table blog.
No, I like it. I like that. I love that. I'm just trying to remember where I went in to write that article to post it in there.
Yeah. So so this is the /blog. So this is the blog feature. So what you do to identify who's allowed to post a blog is you go into your products and you can see who's able to post that. So here we can see the fresh to table communications is here. So it's the admin blog contributor. So a little shortcut is you click on this member ID and you'll see the account that you used to create that. So if you log in as that member, you're going to be able to see all the different articles you've already written. And you'll be able to add new articles as well.
Okay, perfect. Okay.
All right, I feel really, really good about this mini transformation that we did.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think adding some simple blog articles, just make top 5 lists to start. There's benefits to writing really long-winded articles that are 2,000 words for search engine optimization. But for your case, because you're just trying to populate your site quickly, just write short, what we call listicles. So, just top 5 ways to do X, Y, and Z. Have an intro paragraph, list the 5 ways, and have an outro paragraph. Add a nice image, and then you can quickly write multiple articles with that strategy. And you can use those articles with the goal of sharing them on social media that brings people to your website to read those articles.
Okay.
So it's just a quick way to add some nice resources to your website, and also imagery as well.
Okay. I mean, this looks fabulous. The whole point, this is great. This is my brain on the screen.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
That's great.
All right. Well, thank you for letting us check out your website and work on your website, Lori, and try to use some of the strategies we explained today to get more members to join. And
Okay.
when you have more content on the site, then you'll have more stuff to share on social media, and hopefully things will start to snowball a little bit, and the community will grow with some light marketing.
Great. Well, I sure appreciate all your help and all your calls. That's been great.
All right. You're very welcome, Lori. Thanks for sharing your site with us.
All right. Have a good evening.
Yeah, I really like your feedback, Jason, particularly about letting go of the phase 2 and phase 3 heavy customization, fresh to table live functionality that she's looking to do, and really focusing on what the core of the website is, getting content on there, making it easy for people to sign up, getting feedback. Like those 4 questions, everybody should absolutely ask those. And if you can't find 5 people to give you consistent answers in those 4 core questions, you really shouldn't be looking at any further customizations on a website.
Yeah, those 4 questions are essential, and they don't require any customizations to fix. It just requires having the right text on your site, and having we even created a slogan for her here: connecting restaurants with local food providers. That clearly explains what the purpose of the website is for, and that can sometimes be the hardest thing, is honing down and narrowing down what is the focus of your website. Even the name of the membership level, Create Account Basic, has been changed to Create Account Free Producer Listing.
The fact that we went from having 3 pricing plans to just making it easy for people to join. She only has to ask 3 questions, because that's how much easier the concept is, because there is no plan comparison, and making it easy to understand what the difference is in terms of features that people are getting. I love that at launch. Nobody knows your concept, nobody knows your brand. The shorter the learning curve, the easier and more likely it is that people are going to sign up to your website.
Absolutely. Can you show us a little bit about that filtering? Do you have another example with maybe you added a search filter on the side of her site for categories. Do you have maybe another example to kind of show how that works?
Yeah, I'm going to put this on pause for 2 seconds, and I will show you a live example of how it works. And I think it's going to be helpful. Give me 1 moment here. It's just going to take a second.
Okay. Well, I hope between last webinar, I think last webinar was Emily with Select Braces. In this webinar, it was a site to find local food producers. In the last 10 years, I've seen directory ideas for almost every industry you can imagine. And again, with the right setup, they can be successful. So hopefully in these webinars, you guys get some tips for your own sites. Okay, this looks great, Pat.
So here we see we have 288 members, and oftentimes people ask that question. They say, how can people see search results for more than one type of member? For example, on Amazon, you can search for 14-inch screens, 15-inch screens, 16-inch screens, and not just make people do one search at a time and only see who has a 14-inch screen. So this is the multi-search category filter, where you're able to make it an and or, which means you can make this search filter force people to have all the categories, or it could be one or the other. In this case, it's anybody that does any of these. So if I click on bartenders, it's going to show that there's only 40 members that do those. So if I click on party suppliers, it's still just 40. But as I go into the different categories, if I do health and medical, we're up to 166 members, and it'll mix all the different types of members that offer that. So you're able to browse different categories at the same time. So it's a pretty good dynamic search experience, especially if it's products or something along those lines that you want people to search for.
Hotel amenities. I want a hotel that has a pool and a spa and is pet friendly. That would be a good.
Exactly. That'd be a fantastic use case of that particular module, so that I don't have to do 3 individual searches. I can just do an initial search for hotels, and then I would have the amenities options displaying there, and then I could filter by hotels that have the exact set of amenities that I'm looking for. A dating website that would work as well. Or there's multiple different industries where a search like this is very beneficial.
Right, where someone needs to search or filter by multiple parameters, not just a single category.
Correct.
Okay, awesome. Thanks for sharing. What do you call that on your site? How can people learn more about that?
So I'll put a link in the chat, and then anybody that wants information, they can definitely contact us, and we'll be happy to help them out.
Okay, great. All right, so Hope had a question here in the Facebook group. I can only add about 10 members per week due to my schedule, and I'm up to 17. How can I build my membership quicker? There are lots of ways to add to grow your membership. Again, paid marketing I think should be a last resort. There's a lot of grassroots methods, reaching out to local organizations or clubs who are in the industry that you're serving. You can invite maybe one of the organizations that their members can list for free on your website. That's a great way to create an alliance as well with someone who's in the same industry, but you're not directly competing with them. I like LinkedIn groups. You can find groups on LinkedIn as well as Facebook. And what you can do is you can write an article on your website that anyone in that industry who read that article would benefit from reading it, and share that article in a Facebook or LinkedIn group, which will bring people back to your website. So those listicles that I mentioned, you can write them so they're B2B, business to business friendly articles. So let's say it's a directory of dentists. Select Braces was the site we checked last week. If you wrote an article on 5 ways to make your dental customers happier, and then shared that in a group of dentists, the dentists are going to read that article on your website, and then obviously if you have the right buttons and calls to action in places, dentists will probably join and register on your website. So you want to create some selective assets that you can market, that you can drop in social media, send in newsletters, and things like that. It's tough to join a Facebook group or a LinkedIn group and say, hey, join my website, and not get kicked out of the group in today. That would have worked maybe 5 years ago. But group moderators are looking for people who are trying to be spammy or promote other products. So an article is a great way to get your foot in the door and actually provide something to existing communities to help your own community. So actually, that's a great thing to say. A great way to get more memberships is contributing to existing communities where your potential members are to help grow your own community. So find ways to contribute to other communities and bring those people back to your website. All right, let's take some live questions here. Let's see how we're doing on time. All right, Arlana, I've unmuted your microphone.
Hi there.
How are you today?
I'm great, thanks.
Did you find any value in helping to edit Lori's website with her?
Yes, definitely. Streamlining is always an issue. There's so many ideas running around in your head, and you're trying to figure out how to incorporate them all at the same time.
Yes.
So yeah, you can get a little overwhelmed with all that information for sure. I also enjoyed, I've been trying to figure out how to add more keywords to my main page. And so I heard you mention that, as well as ways to add them into the other icons and
Right,
stuff.
right on the home page, right?
Yeah, because I have a conflict in mind where I talked about this before. Holistic can be spelled either way, but
Oh,
the
right.
more common way to spell it is just with an H, but I spell it with a W. So I did go back in and I changed my page so that it has both spellings on the main page. I'm hoping that does help.
So that's a good. So what's your question for today? Maybe we can help you with getting your site market ready. Where do you think you're at with your website setup at this point, and where do you think you're struggling with the marketing right now?
Well, I think the main page keywords is very, very important because I'm not getting very high rankings, I don't think, in Google because of that conflict.
Can we check out? Can I go to your website? Do you mind?
Holistic with a W, Holistic Essentials Wellness Directory.
Okay, let's check it out together.
Yes.
All right, so let's go to the home page. So I see here, so the name of your site, you're spelling holistic. I get it, like Whole Foods, it's wholesome. But the main keyword is holistic without a W. So it's a little play on words there.
Well, if you look it up, you can spell it either way, but
Gotcha.
this is not as common.
Okay. So yeah, you can even up here where it says get listed today, you can update this to say like holistic professionals or providers, list your services up here.
Okay.
So you get that. So you're choosing to use the word holistic now rather than with the W because search engines aren't picking up this spelling as much as the regular spelling.
Yeah. I've tried incorporating both into the main page, just hoping that will help. And then I'm trying to market to holistic practitioners as well as green or eco-friendly businesses. So, all in the same frame of mind. So it's a lot of words.
Okay. I would also recommend, again, also maybe not using the slideshow, just finding one image and one high quality image that encompasses, what your website is about. And then also
Right.
to make sure to use higher quality images that might not be so blurry. Can I update the link up here where it says get listed today?
Sure.
Do you mind? I'll say holistic providers list your services. Would that make sense?
Sure.
Okay. Right, and this is where you can add some more calls to action. Let's see.
I don't have those linked to anything right now. I kind of like the way I've got them separated, but I'm not sure how I would separate them into, actual different parts of the website.
Let's check out your categories in just a moment. Let's just update this here. Let's check out your categories. So recent member articles. 3 digital marketing must-haves. So how is this taking your business to new heights? So are these supposed to be tips for the businesses?
Those are articles that are linked to to people who are members already. Then the blog down below is actually members only related information that they would have to sign up as a member in order to have access to.
Masterminding
so anyone doing
the 6 things your clients want from you. But okay, what color is the right color? I'm seeing a mix of business to business articles and business to consumer articles here.
Mhm.
Um, like I want to read an article on how to get better sleep at night or something like that. I'm wondering,
Well, that's the thing is I have to be like I'm looking for people who want to be contributors, or I'm trying to engage my members to submit articles and
okay,
to make it more integrative and active.
okay, and the type of articles you want them to contribute would help the consumer be more holistic in their lifestyle.
Yes.
Okay. Um,
Mhm.
so I think we saw this on
I
this.
guess my
Yeah. I was going to say on the Select Braces website to last webinar, we were seeing a conflict between B2B content and B2C, business to business versus business to consumer content. Some of these articles I desperately want to read. What color is the right color? You know, but the 6 things your clients want from you, I don't know how that's going to benefit someone who's looking to find to be more holistic in their life.
Yeah, the member business, it's a business and marketing blog for members. So people that are in the holistic field that want to better their business. So that row is you know, a support forum more or less for people who are holistic practitioners who want to increase their business.
Okay, Pat, you want to chime in here?
Yeah, I completely agree. First and foremost, that any type of marketing blog, whatever's on the home page, should be 100% focused on the end user, the person that will be browsing the website, not the member that will be joining the website to get more customers. So if you're creating content that engages the end user from the get-go, then they will more likely, it'll be much more likely that they continue staying on the website, browsing the content, contacting practitioners, generating leads for your members. So in the marketing tips, it's a total conflict. Making money and growing your business is in conflict almost with the essence of the whole holistic vibe. So it's very confusing for that end user as to who this website's intended for. You could easily have a members only blog. That could be one of the features that they get by joining. So on the join page, you can promote that blog. You can say if you create an account, you'll get marketing emails and marketing newsletters for content that'll help you grow your business. That's not an issue. That's probably be my recommendation for sure on that content.
Right. I guess I haven't, because I'm still looking for people to sign up. I guess I haven't moved into that mode yet of thinking farther
So so
about
so
end
we're,
user.
so that's a good chicken or the egg scenario. I'm trying to get members, so I'm trying to appeal to them so they would join my site. If you can show that, if let's go back to Meet Your Markets site. So what we've done on Meet Your Markets is we definitely want members to sign up. We want the local producers to sign up. And by showing that our website is catering to the end user, they know that we have a network of end users somewhere in our back pocket. And they're going to inherently and intuitively want to join the network to get access to those end users. So what I would recommend on your homepage is from top to bottom, only have content that caters to the consumers, and then now that this is here, join today. Have a strong page. I would get rid of these membership levels. I'm doing math. This is algebra. 10 divided by m to the power of 12 equals 120. Why you're having people do algebra on this page. Get rid of all the streamline is the keyword you used when we started this call. Actually, that was a good word you used. Streamline the process to get members to sign up for free. and then later you can figure out what strategies you want to implement to turn them into paying customers. You can unlock more of the features that are built into Brilliant Directories, like allowing them to publish photos or coupons or articles or showing them first in the search results. You can use tons of those gimmicks and strategies to get members to want to upgrade, because essentially you're going to give them more opportunities to gain visibility on your site.
And Jason, this is a perfect type of pricing page that if I would project, if you were to ask somebody, like Jason said, look at these 3 plans and tell me what the difference is between them and why you would join up for one and not the other. And if you were to just look at their face while they're reading this, I think you would see a lot of facial expressions and them trying to comprehend what it is that they're even getting on this page. So if it's an uncomfortable and unenjoyable experience for a friend to read this, it's very unlikely somebody's going to go from this page to actually finish the sign-up process.
I think on our lead gen demo, we did a pricing page that it's not bad to have a pricing page with options. The key is keeping it simple. Yeah, so this is a pricing page here, and it's short. It is only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 features that we're showcasing here. I would recommend, if you're having multiple options, focus on the benefits of the visibility that someone will gain from joining your website rather than the hyper-focused individual features. And if you can compare a page like this, and this is just our demo site for our lead gen theme, if you want to kind of replicate this, you can, compared to something where you have to scroll down, it's going to reduce the number of signups. So my recommendation, Arlana, would be to simplify your plans if you're going to offer plans. You can check out our lead gen theme as an example. There's only 5 options here. Or streamline and link people, all these join links, just link them directly to the free sign up registration page. And then here we're seeing it again, create profile basic. It should be create profile, free holistic listing would be something a little bit better, Arlana.
Yeah.
Okay, that sounds good.
And then Jason, if you want, just because I think it might interest others on the call, if I could share my screen 2 seconds, since we were talking about the holistic versus holistic. This is a very important thing to know because it's going to impact your SEO. I'm not saying to change the name of the website, of course, but it's important to collect data when you're making a big decision in terms of what are your SEO templates going to be advertising. Should it be holistic with an H or holistic with a W? Of course, we can see here that there is search. This is a software called, it's a service called Keyword Planner by AdWords. As long as you have an AdWords account, you can use this. And basically what you do is you enter the keywords right here in this box, and it's going to show you how many searches. In this case, it's the United States that we're looking at exclusively, not the world, are there per month. And we can see that there's 110,000 monthly searches for holistic with an H and 9,900 searches for holistic with a W. So you're getting more than 10 times the volume with the H. So even though the name of the website has a W, you'll definitely want to make sure that everywhere else throughout the site with SEO templates, you're likely going to want to be spelling it for an H so you can get 10 times the traffic if you ever start ranking for those keywords.
So Pat, can you Google keyword trends? This is a free tool everyone can use. You don't need an AdWords account. Keyword trends, yeah, see what comes up for Google. Yeah, the first one. And anyone can access this. If you're wondering if you should use, there's obviously tons of different variations for many different words in the world. There's directory software, directory themes, directory templates, considering Brilliant Directories. Why don't you search for holistic, and then you can compare it. This doesn't tell you the search volume, like 110,000. It shows you the popularity out of 100 between the two. So if you just hover over one of the dates, out of 100 people, 79 are searching for holistic, and I don't know exactly what it means, and 3% are searching for holistic. So this is a good tool that everyone should use on your site. If you're wondering, if you're up in the air about different keywords to actually utilize on your site, this will give you a good indication of the popularity of certain words and the volume that's being searched for certain keyword phrases. Now, it could be that a keyword has a low volume, but there's also no competitors targeting that keyword, and it would be very low-hanging fruit to really capture that market. So it's not necessarily always a bad thing that a keyword has low search volume, but if it has low search volume and high competitiveness, you probably want to stay away from it for sure. But if there's low competition, you could want to gobble up taking that market share.
Great
So
tool.
where's the most powerful places on the main page to make that definition, to put so that you're getting maybe both of them in there?
I'll pass it back to you, but Jason,
Okay.
if you like.
So there's a few things that you can do, Arlana. Let me grab my screen here.
I had a brick and mortar business called Holistic Essentials, and then I started the directory, and then I closed the brick and mortar. So that was a name that was already established as a business. So that's why I stayed with it.
I understand. So a few places you can do it. One is we've done it here. You can change this to an regular H if you want. I think it would be clear to make that switch now. I like maybe in the logo it's fine. It's a play on words, but like Patrick said, everywhere else use the holistic with an H. Your main menu, you can have a link that says Holistic Directory, and that links to the directory. So you can you can actually have your main menu links with the word holistic in it. Your title, I would switch it to just be holistic. And then
Jason, did you want to also show the two most important variables to change inside of the settings of the website for trade and industry, to make sure that everyone should make sure that that's optimized?
Under your general settings, yeah, can I change the industry name to Holistic Wellness Products and Services in Canada without the W?
Yeah, I've got there in the industry name. Yeah.
Okay. So other places are in the hero divider here, as we showed in the example with meet your markets. This is a good place. These two modules here that you can edit in your design settings. It says about we wellness. Okay, so now you're using the word we. I understand it's for holistic essentials, but I didn't put that together. I don't know your brand yet, so I don't know your abbreviation for your brand. I would just say about the holistic directory. That's another place to put holistic. The articles that you're going to share, you're sharing these articles instead of having business articles. Definitely have articles that have the word holistic in the title and link to articles that are about holistic things, rather than taking your business to new heights. And then also in the footer,
even recent member articles, recent members, those are great to change. And maybe if some people don't know where you go to change that particular section.
So here you're streaming recent member articles. Let's change the title here, and we're going to do that in the design settings. And again, it doesn't just need to be the word holistic. You can use synonyms for different words. I don't know what synonyms for holistic there are. I think wellness would qualify as one, but you can find them. You can also use your holistic with a W. So what you can do in the homepage section order, you have the recent member articles. You can change the title that's displaying on the homepage, and you could just say holistic. I would say like tips for holistic. I like the lifestyle that you put in the link there, Pat, and the blog on the Meet Your Markets. Tips for holistic lifestyles. Tips for a holistic life. We could just keep it simple. So that's another place to kind of inject some keywords rather than using recent member articles. You can do that for all your features. And then in the footer here, you can kind of customize the messaging here. Maybe you can add another sentence or two. And then also the links here, instead of browse categories, you can say holistic categories. You can, I guess, holistic providers by location. You can kind of jazz it up a little bit. Instead of how it works, you can say about the holistic directory. So you can kind of just add, you can make these a little bit more keyword friendly, these links down here.
Awesome.
Okay.
Yeah, that's great. Thank you.
You're welcome. I know that was an earful, but hopefully there were a few nuggets of value there for you.
That was definitely one of the main things I wanted to work on next. So I appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you for sharing your site. All right, I think we can, we got one more site we can look at. Hopefully everyone's learning from each other. I think Arlana used a really valuable keyword, which was the word streamline. You want to make sure that your website is streamlined. And again, that goes to the website navigation, a lot of the things we talked about here. All right, Susan, I'm going to unmute your microphone, Susan. Are you with us, Susan?
Yes, I am.
How are you today, and where are you calling from?
I'm fine, thank you. I'm calling from Alberta, Canada.
Okay, great. And yeah, what's your website? What kind of what are you looking to do with your marketing? How can we help you?
Okay, my website is Palm Springs and area, and it's for businesses and services.
Okay.
So my question is, I've been trying to learn all the features on the profile page, and my question is regarding the upload CV or brochure feature in the listing area of the profile page.
Okay.
What are a couple of examples of how this feature works? What's the end result?
Perfect. So the end result is, I'll give you an example. If you're a restaurant, you can upload a brochure of your menu, for example. Okay. So think a brochure is a perfect example. You might want to change the verbiage from upload CV to upload it could be a PDF brochure or some kind of downloadable material that you want your members to share. So that would be one example. Or you could remove it if you don't need it. Let me.
But I just thought I needed some examples. I couldn't come up with any ideas. I thought it was fantastic when Patrick had suggested for the event how restaurants can actually showcase their weekly special. I thought that was wonderful. So I just thought I could use some ideas on what sort of things would they upload in this area. And then I thought,
so if I could chime in then, as you're just getting started here, correct? And you're getting familiar with all the different features that are available. I think it is important that you think Palm Springs fairly often, and you must know the area well and the business as well, and the type of visitor that goes there. Normally what I recommend is put yourself in the shoes of the person that will be browsing your website. What are the two types of content that you think they would be most interested in browsing? I'll give you a couple of examples. Would they be interested in finding deals? Would they be interested in finding events? Like you said, daily specials? Is it properties for rent? Is it local businesses? What type of content do you think that they're going to want to digest? And once you've identified that, instead of focusing on all the features that are available to the members, what you do is you actually do the opposite, just like Jason said at the beginning of the webinar. You strip away all their features and you only give them access, and you make them focus 100% on populating your directory with the type of content that the end user is going to want to be browsing for. And that makes for a much easier process for your members and for you to get them signed up and to educate them on what they should be doing to get more business.
Right. I guess I was looking at it as though this is like a marketing machine, and it's easy for these businesses and services to be able to show everything that they've got.
Yeah, absolutely.
It is. And that's the point. This thing is a very big machine. It is a marketing machine. So if you want to educate them on everything, just think it this way. However long it's taking you right now to figure all this out, it will take your members triple that time. Right, because you're having to figure it all out. So you should really, you should take everything away and view it in this way. It's similar to the Facebook story I've shared many times. You want to have features that you can announce to your members. Tell yourself, after I have 100 businesses, I will send them a newsletter and I will tell them that they can now post deals, and we're going to be releasing a deals section, and here's how they can add deals. So that when we launch the deal section a month's time from now, we're going to have content already pre-populated. When I hit the 500 member mark, I'm going to release classifieds. When I hit the 1,000 member mark, I'm going to release properties. You can have a plan of attack, but you should be releasing these feature types based on hitting goals that you've set for your business, and putting all your eggs in just a couple of baskets and not in all of them.
Yes, okay, I understand.
But yeah, I think to circle back to your original question of when the members have the ability to select their hours of operation and things like that, one of the options is to upload a CV or a brochure. I think a brochure is fine, and they can upload a PDF. If they don't know what that is, most members will just pass it over. They might not have that digital asset. But for those who do have it, it's a nice little touch for people to be able to download a brochure to their computer when they're on it, or to their phone.
Okay.
And one last thing, I noticed that just with your design settings, a lot of these elements are just floating here. Can I add a soft gray background to these just to help? It'll help with the user experience, be able to identify where a section starts and stops.
Sure.
Would that be okay? All right, I'm just going to update your module background color to match your main menu color. It'll just be a subtle gray. Hopefully that updates. We can see on a search results page here. Yeah, you don't notice it, but now it's a very faint color you're using. I don't want to mess with your design. It looks like you've selected these colors, but now there's a faint gray color here to kind of outline these boxes.
Yeah, I haven't been focusing on the design. I've been focusing on learning what all the features are. But I have one quick question about, on the home page, how some sites actually have like a nice square, nice line, like a colored line, like say a burgundy color around the areas. If you go down a little bit more, yes, around the businesses, like those squares. Is there a way to easily put a line around those?
Yeah, that's related to the module border here. So let me update that for you.
Oh.
It was set to white.
Oh.
So this will be a little bit better now, and I'll just let this save. And we can refresh the home page. And hopefully we should see a little border. And now there's a little bit more of a module here.
Yes, that's great. That's great. Thank you so much.
Sure, that'll affect everything. That's kind of what I was referring to here. Let's go back to your search results. So now you'll see a nice border around these. It's not too imposing. It's still subtle, but now everything is sectionalized. Okay.
Yeah. Great. Thank you.
All right. You're very welcome. Let's go back to this. Focus content on the end user. The professionals will come. The professionals are looking for ways to advertise their business. They're not dummies. They know if your site is geared towards an end user, if you provide a way for them to get involved, they'll sign up. It's an easy sell. It's an easier sell also to get a free or paid sign up when they know that your content is focused around their potential customers. All right, and on that note, how are we doing on time, Pat?
We're doing good. We could take another question.
All right, let's take another question here.
A bonus question, why not?
All right, thank you.
And I do think, like, for example, if you were to go on Yelp.com, for example, or you look at any professional business, the recommendation that Jason's sharing here is completely in line with all the successful directories. They don't put content that's intended for the businesses on their homepage. 100% of the content is for the end user, because they know if I can engage the end user, the businesses will come. But I need to be able to demonstrate on a sales call or a splash page how it is we're able to engage their customers.
That's right. And then I think a theme of this webinar ended up being set up that, like, the navigation and flow of the site. Hopefully in the other webinars we can cover other things like search engine optimization and things like that. But I think the questions here were right on point and right on topic. So another amazing webinar Wednesday. Thank you everyone for joining us. If you haven't already done so, just take a minute and join our free Facebook group. We can continue the conversations there. You can go to www.brilliantdirectories.com/Facebook and go ahead and join the group there. And also our contest winner, Terry Heights, congratulations. Just email events@brilliantdirectories.com to claim your free Power Website Plan for joining the Facebook group. And if you would like your website showcased in the next webinar so that Patrick and myself can review it from top to bottom and provide you with some helpful tips, go ahead and also email events@brilliantdirectories.com and please include a link to your website's URL. We'll contact you prior to the webinar to let you know if you've been selected so we can make sure that you're on the webinar to review your website with us. So on behalf of myself, Jason, Gabriel, and Patrick, thank you very much for joining us for Webinar Wednesday. The next one is in 2 weeks, so we hope to see you all there. Thank you very much.
All right, I really love this one. Hopefully we keep the focus on marketing and looking to help everybody grow their business.
All right. Thanks, guys. Catch you in the next webinar.